All right, good Christ, here we go. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's another edition of the Joe Raineri Show brought to you by uwager.eu. It is where America bets. It's sure as shit where this show bets, and I hope at the very least it is a place that you have gone to help yourself line shop here a little bit as we are, 30 games into the Major League Baseball season, round 2 of the NBA playoffs, round 2 of the NHL playoffs, people getting screwed by the hook left and right, bitching and moaning, didn't get the right number. Oh, my God. Yeah, no kidding. Why? Because you need options, people. If you want to be a successful sports handicapper, what do we always tell you here on the show? You need options. What does that ultimately boil down to? It means you need an offshore book that you can count on, which is why we have been telling you guys about uwager.eu. It is one of our favorite places. Why? Well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, ease of convenience. It is so easy to drop some money in and pull that money out once you win, guys. That's real simple. You don't have to give up a firstborn to do it. Customer service, by the way, you're about to find out, is second to none of all the offshore books, and I belong to just about every one of them. I can tell you right now, customer service, just about second to none. These guys are unbelievable. And, oh, yeah, you know what? The marketing. Yeah, the pricing, the market. Yeah, it's probably some of the most competitive that you are going to see. So it is very simple. Going to put the number up here right now for you. You're right. Get yourself, hit that home run right now. It's very simple. Call 1-800-UWAGER. They're standing by. 1-800-UWAGER. Tell them you want to open up an account right now. You want to do yourself a little line shopping. Give them that code right there, JRS50. That's JRS50. They'll drop a 50% deposit match bonus right into your account. What does that mean? Well, let's see. You put 100 in, they'll put 50 in. You put a dime in, they'll put 500 in. You get in the drift there, 50% of whatever you put in, they'll go ahead and match. And, guys, it does not have to be a small fortune. You don't need to take out a second mortgage to open the account. Just put a few bucks in there so you can start line shopping, price it out. Make sure you're getting the best number, especially in baseball. I can't even begin to tell you the horror stories that we're hearing already here a month into the season from people who just don't understand, the difference of getting in at a team that is, maybe when it's minus 105 as opposed to, 30 cents later at minus 135. Can't figure out why I'm broke. Well, I can figure out why you're broke. You ain't getting in on the right times. That's the problem. It is so important to get the right number. You're betting numbers. You're not betting teams, guys. Write this number down. 1-800-UWAGER, the code JRS50. That's going to give you the 50% sign-up bonus. They're waiting for you right now, guys. What are you doing? 1-800-UWAGER, code JRS50. All right, we got a bunch of stuff to go over here today. Going to give you the latest from the books. We're going to tell you where the numbers are, what they're telling us. It is a loaded MLB schedule here tonight. I believe 15 games on tap. One is postponed already. I do believe Baltimore and Chicago White Sox have already been postponed. Serves them right. Who the hell wants to watch that game anyway? So no Ivan Nova for you guys that were dying to see Ivan Nova pitch here tonight. Not going to happen. But that does leave 14 games, and we'll get you caught up. There is some sharp movement. There are a few games that are standing out. The lines, the market tells us that, yeah, the Sharps are in action, and they are playing probably a few games that you didn't even realize. So we'll tell you what those are. That is coming up here. Of course, our friends from TrendyBets.com, what can I tell you? Those guys have just been ridiculous now. They are, if I'm not mistaken, were they 12-4 on their in the playoffs so far in the NBA? They swept the board again last week. They've been delivering free winner after free winner after free winner here on the show for you guys. Another Major League Baseball play coming your way, and they definitely have a side tonight in the NBA playoffs you're going to want to see, you're going to want to hear, unless, of course, you don't like, winning at a 70% clip here, then by all means don't pay attention. But we do have the plays for you, TrendyBets.com. That's coming up. Also, I'm going to give you two, not one, not two, plus Trendy Bets, make it three. I'm going to give you 2 Twitter pages, guys, that you have to be following. If you're not following, you're leaving money out there. 2 guys, 2 cappers, 2 people, great information, always grinding. People you should definitely be following. You should definitely be tailing. All sorts of great information. One of them, of course, is our good friend Ralph Michaels from WagerTalk.com. And if you haven't caught up with him yet, don't worry about it. He's got a couple of pieces of information, some trends and angles that he posted today. Nobody does TNA like our friend Ralph. some baseball information, but more importantly, some trends and angles applying to tonight's NBA game. So before you place any bets here, you're definitely going to want to hear what the numbers, what the trends, what the angles are telling us. I'll give you that. Plus, I'll introduce you to Ralph, along with our good friend Dr. Chuck here from SportsMemo.com. If you haven't checked him out, my suggestion is you do so. He has quietly been killing it for his clients at SportsMemo.com as well. We've had him on the show here. Hopefully, we're going to have him on the show again this week when it comes to Major League Baseball. This guy dives into the analytics like I have never seen. Great stuff on a tremendous run. Would invite you guys to check him out at SportsMemo.com, but I'm going to show you his Twitter page, introduce you, and by all means, another guy that you should absolutely be following. What do we say here on the show, right? Knowledge is power, guys. The more knowledge you have, the smarter sports investing decisions that you make, right? What a shock. Who would have thought it? If you are not if you are the smartest guy in the room, find yourself another room, and that's what we try to do here on the Joe Raineri Show, is introduce you to as many of these smart people as humanly possible, guys that bring a little something to the table, guys that do the work, they do the grind, and just being around them, you're a little bit smarter, which means chances are you're going to be a little bit more profitable. So we'll pass all that information along to you coming up, plus a couple of free MLB plays tonight. We're not going to make it. We're not going to overthink it, guys. We're simply going to follow the money. When I tell you where the sharp money is going, there's a good reason why they're sharps, and you're not. So do yourself and make one of the most profitable decisions of the year. Just follow the money, guys. Don't overthink it. Follow where are the sharps playing. If they are playing a side, there's probably a good reason to do it. You just got to figure out how to identify that. So we'll get you caught up with that. And, of course, we want to go ahead and invite you to download the app, the Fantasy Sports Radio Network, if you haven't done so already. It's pretty simple, guys. It's a free app. It's also one of the best streaming platform, content-driven DFS / sports betting information groups that you will ever see. Starts with us at 6 o'clock in the morning, goes all the way through 11 o'clock at night. Nothing but live content helping you cash those DFS winnings in on a consistent basis with our friends from Daily Roto and Roto Experts. These guys are just killing it, and we could not be happier to be a part of that, along with our friends from wagertalk.com. But it's so simple, guys. Simply download the app, the Fantasy Sports Radio Network app, and it is free, and you can take us with you anywhere you go. Radio stations syndicated across the country, as well as cable networks, coming to a TV and a streaming platform near you, guys. It's so simple. You can have us, take us with you, and start making some money. Be a little bit more profitable this year with the guys over at the Fantasy Sports Radio Network. All right, where do we start? I think where we should start first and foremost is tonight's NBA stuff. And a lot of hoopla. If you guys caught us on Make It Rain in the morning after, me and good old Gabe Morency here today did a little battling back and forth because of the whole James Harden and the Houston Rockets bitching and moaning about the refs and the ref this and the refs that. And, Gabe's got this whole conspiracy theory thing going that, this is awful, and the NBA does this on purpose, and, the refs have favoritism, and they hate us because they can't be, all of this crap. And the bottom line is, listen, okay, I'm sick and tired of hearing it. I know you're sick and tired of hearing about it, all right? If you're James Harden, don't go 9 for 28, okay, and expect to win a game and then bitch and moan and blame it on the refs. You're professional athletes. You're the best the game has ever seen. You're the best NBA players from around the world. Make a fucking shot or two when it counts the most, okay? That's it. Don't give me the refs. Don't tell me it's this. They don't like us. They should. I don't want to hear it, all right? At this stage in the game, we have never in the NBA seen a game called like it's game number 23 on a Tuesday night in Denver. The refs aren't calling the same way. They're not, okay? The last thing the NBA wants is for all of us to be glued to a television set and then a whistle go, and then that's what's going to decide a game. They always have kept in the playoffs whistles in their mouths. They don't blow them. They keep it in the pocket, and they do that for a reason, because they don't want the refs getting involved. So this idea that somehow or another, well, you call it during the regular season, Games are not ref the same way at this point in the playoffs like they are game 22, 23 during the regular season. It's asinine to think that. It's just that you've been bitching and moaning about this. It becomes fashionable now to just hop on Twitter, social media, and tell everyone, what a shit job the refs are doing. They're out to get. Nobody's out to get you, okay? Make a damn three-pointer. All you do is shoot threes, make a couple of more baskets, and voila, you won't have to worry about the refs not blowing a whistle in your favor. And I bring this up because it was announced today, and this was another thing, the difference between perception and reality. And it came out, it broke today during the morning after here on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network while we were on. It broke that Scott Foster was going to be part of the ref crew here tonight for the Golden State and Houston game, and people lost their ever-loving minds. Like, they lost their shit as if it was the NBA and Adam Silver somehow were sitting in the back, like going, ooh, who we can really stick it to the Houston Texans? Why don't we send them the guy that absolutely James Harden can't stand? The guy that threw James Harden out of a game, the guy that has gone toe-to-toe with these guys time and time again, who has, they don't get along. And personally, I really don't want my players. I don't want NBA players getting along with refs. That's kind of the whole point of it. The more you hate a guy, the more it tells me that he's actually doing his job, because you're all a bunch of bitching and moaning anyway. But the idea that Scott Foster was somehow cooked up last night to go ahead and ref this game could not be any further from the truth, guys, all right? It's not what happens. The referee assignments are always preset for the first 4 games of a series. And Scott Foster, by the way, he's a crew chief. Of course he's going to be there, okay? We're down to about 20 of the best NBA refs there are. He was already scheduled to ref this game. It wasn't some sort of, last-second switch, and this was Adam Silver trying to stick it to them or the NBA trying to stick it to him. Absolutely not. Scott Foster was always doing this game. It wasn't somewhere out of the blue. People blowing their minds thinking that this is somehow a huge edge to the Golden State Warriors. Let me explain something to you about Scott Foster here before you go and dump all your money on the Warriors tonight. Nobody likes this guy, okay? The Warriors don't like the guy. He's thrown out Sean Livingston before, okay? Sean Livingston, plays for the Golden State Warriors, probably one of the most likable dudes ever. He's also tossed Steph Curry before. He's had problems with everybody, including the Golden State Warriors. And by the way, their record is not exactly great with Scott Foster reffing anyway. So it's not like it's advantage Golden State because Scott Foster is going to be on the court tonight, not in all likelihood not blowing the whistles here. So we've got to get that out of our mind here. Perception, reality. Perception is somehow or another Scott Foster is a difference maker, and the reality is he's only a difference maker if you allow him to be a difference maker. The NBA did not pull this out of their ass. This was scheduled the entire time. But when we dive into the numbers, because ultimately that's what this is about, guys, right? We want to dive into the numbers. What does it mean? Well, since 2014, the Rockets, they're 3-7 against the number in the postseason with Foster as one of the officials, including an 0-for-5 against the number streak in their last 5 games. So that's what the numbers tell us about Scott Foster tonight for this game. But again, I want to repeat, this is not some sort of long conspiracy plan here. The NBA is not going to bench one of its veteran guys, okay, because the fans and the players don't like him or because guys are or calling him out. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference. But what you need to know is that Foster is also the second most profitable road referee in the game right now. As a matter of fact, visiting teams have posted a close to 54% against the number record in the regular season and postseason combined. So the idea that somehow or another Houston is going to not benefit, well, most teams throughout his career, road teams have benefited against the number. So when you're looking for maybe an edge there, look for the fact that I can tell you a whole bunch of numbers regarding Scott Foster. It all depends on what you want to believe and what narrative that you want to fit in there. But I can tell you this. The Rockets' recent struggles against the spread in the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't know that those two things are correlated at all. I think it has more to do with the fact that you're shooting 28% from three-point range. That might have more of a problem as to why you can't hit the number. But that's what it is. 3-7 against the spread in the postseason, as Foster is one of the officials. 0-5 against the number in the last 5 games. And, of course, the only way Scott Foster will have any sort of impact in this game is if the Houston Rockets allow them to be. So that's one of the numbers there that I wanted to let you know. And I also told you about our good friend Ralph Michaels, who is absolutely one of the guys that you have to follow on Twitter. And I'll pull this page up here for you because Ralph is doing nothing but delivering great pieces of content after great pieces of content on his Twitter page. It's at CalSportsLV. There he is, at CalSports LV. Make sure that you guys check it out here. And why is this so important? Well, it's Ralph came up with a couple of pieces of information like he does each and every day here on his Twitter page. Something, again, that you guys should be following. Don't be the smartest dude in the room. Let me see if I can get a close-up of it first here. And let's see. Yeah, well, I guess we'll start with that first. Let's do this one. This was one of the things that Ralph posted earlier today, because we've heard a lot about this whole zigzag theory, too, which we have told you here time and time again is a crock of shit. It doesn't work. It is not some sort of big profitable, a trend here that you should run out and play every time a home team loses a game one in a series. Like, let's zigzag. Yeah, zigzag not, like Ralph put there. Even though the 76ers bounced back and won game 2 last night, the numbers don't lie. If you blindly bet teams that lost game 1 in this series, you're going to be 18-36 straight up and 19-35 against the number, 35%. I believe that's since 2003 or 2005. So any which way you cut it, guys, it's not a profitable trend. Don't blindly think because a team lost game 1 that somehow or another they're going to bounce back and zigzag their way through game 2. It is just proven not to be very profitable. Now, having said that, one of the other things that Ralph pulled up here, and this is where numbers come into play, guys. The more knowledge you have, the more profitable you can be, right? All right, that's the zigzag theory, which in small sample sizes and in the right situations could very well work, but it doesn't work blindly. Take a look at this. NBA playoff teams who lost game 1 of a series as a favorite of 7.5 points or more, right? That would be the Milwaukee Bucks, wasn't it? First game against Boston. Here's what we know. Those teams, since 2003, 23-1 straight up, guys, 15-8-1 against the number, 65%. And this is the kind of stuff you're going to see at Ralph Michaels' page, which is why I'm telling you, probably, if you're watching us on Periscope right now, if you haven't followed him, do so at CalSportsLV, at CalSportsLV. Make sure you follow him. Also, make sure you check him out at Wager Talk. At Wager Talk, you can follow them too as well, because all of this information gets posted throughout the day on both of those sites. But look at those numbers. They don't lie. If you want to boil it down a little further here, guys, the Milwaukee Bucks this year alone, 15-1 straight up, 14-2 against the number off a straight-up loss. They're also 4-12 over and under. So they're 4-12 to the over. The under is generally hit with Milwaukee in these types of situations. So the numbers, when you look at them, the trends, when you look at them, guys, tells a whole interesting story here, doesn't it? All right, it tells us that maybe, number one, zigzag, not a blind trend worth following, guys, okay? Just because the team loses game 1 of a series doesn't mean they're automatically going to bounce back. Now, yes, it worked with Philadelphia, but it hasn't worked all that well throughout the playoffs over the last 10 to 15 years. But when you look at the Milwaukee Bucks historically here, especially this year, they've done a pretty damn good job of bouncing back alone coming off a loss. Not like they lost many, but 15-1 straight up, 14-2 against the number after a straight-up loss tells you a lot. But when you look at the playoff numbers, guys, game 1 of a series, favorite 7.5 or more. They were a closing line of 8.5. Were they not? Yeah. Those teams, like the Milwaukee Bucks, have historically, since 2003, dominated. 23-1 straight up, 15-8-1 against the number. 65%, guys. So, again, what do you do with all this information? Nobody's telling you to run out and go play Milwaukee. All I'm telling you is that this is the kind of information you will get at Ralph Michaels' page at Cal Sports LV. I highly suggest that you guys go check it out. I mean, it's just data after data after data. It's great stat after great stat. Trends and angles, everything worth having, guys. The information that you should be having and that you should be looking at is right here in front of you. It's available. That's why we love Ralph. We love the guys at Wager Talk because of this kind of information. They're doing the work. They're doing the grind. All you guys have to do is take the effort to go follow him. That's Ralph Michaels, wagertalk.com, at Cal Sports LV. So some great stuff there. Keep in mind, and let's go to the numbers right now. Let's see what the sharps are doing. Let me go to the live odds and see what we've got as far as the numbers. And I can tell you that's going to be 8 o'clock here tonight, guys. Let's look at where we are. All right, Milwaukee, Boston here tonight. 7.5 is what it opened up at. It has remained at 7.5. Here's what I know, and here's what I can tell you as of 4:30. 7.5. 62% of the bets are coming in on Boston spread-wise, which equals just about that in the money. 62% of the bets, 62% of the money. Milwaukee's getting 38% of the bets, 38% of the money right now from a spread. Now, laying 7.5 going to cost you a little more on the juice right now, minus 117. 7.5 on average right now is about minus 103 for Boston. The money line is interesting, as Milwaukee has opened up as a minus 325 money line favorite. That's shot up, guys. That's at minus 345. Boston has also shot up plus 263. It opened up. It's now at plus 278. I can tell you that there's a little discrepancy here, which I think is why you will see why the numbers are moving up, all right? We've got a little bit of a reverse line movement here. We've got 36% of the bets on Milwaukee on the money line, but that represents over 50% of the money, guys. So when you look at Boston, Boston's getting a lot of the public money. Why do I know that? They've got a higher percentage of bets on the money line, 64%, but that only represents 48% of the money right now. So there's a difference there. What that tells me is that the sharps are actually getting down on the money line on Milwaukee here. 36% representing 52% of the money. You want a higher percentage of the money. That tells you that I got a lower percentage of the tickets, a higher percentage of the money. What does that mean? That means the big bettors, the sharps, the kind of guys that actually move lines, the kind of groups that move lines. Yeah, that's what it's telling you right now. The over-under opened up at 220.5. It's down to about 219, and I can tell you same situation here. We kind of look like we got a little bit of a reverse line shift. 30% of the tickets right now are on the over. That represents 52% of the money, guys. All right, so looking at that right there, that kind of discrepancy telling me we might have a little bit more sharp money on the over here tonight because 70% of the tickets right now are on the under, but that's representing 47, 48% of the money. So more tickets being written to the under, but not nearly as much money. Fewer tickets on the over, representing more of the money. Do the math. It doesn't kill you to figure that out. I can tell you right now, Milwaukee getting a lot of the reverse line shift, a lot of public dollars, a lot of the Joes coming in on Boston all day long, and I'm seeing reverse line move, steam move, reverse line move. All day long, I am seeing a lot of this coming in, and I'm also seeing a lot of to the over. Some reverse line shifts to the over, which is why we're seeing that that number drop here a little bit. A lot of people, a lot of the bigger money coming in, some steam moves to the over, which is why we're seeing a higher proportion of the money come in on the over. So that's of about 4:30 right now. But again, keep an eye on this as you're moving along here through the night, guys. Plenty of websites for you to be able to check the percentages. The handle is a heck of a lot more right now on the Boston Celtics Milwaukee Bucks game tonight as opposed to Golden State, but that's to be expected. The later game, Golden State 10-10-30. People are going to wait to see how they do in baseball tonight. They're going to wait to see how they do in the Boston game before they decide what it is that they're going to bet on the Golden State. I can tell you right now, in that Golden State-Houston game early on, we're seeing an awful lot of public money come in on Houston here. It opened up at 6. It's down to 5.5. 69% of the bets coming in on Houston getting that 5.5. That represents a big portion of the money, 75%. 31% of the bets on Golden State laying the 5.5. That's representing 25% of the money. And as far as the over goes, we're getting 220.5. It hasn't moved, even though that we're seeing 63% of the bets coming in on the over. That represents 65% of the money, only 37% coming in on the under, and only 35% of the money. So it's kind of stayed there, 220 and a half. That's kind of what it has been. It's been kind of split down the money, although it looks like Joe Public is favoring an over battle here tonight. They don't anticipate that they're going to see another defensive missed 28 shots and a half, which could very well end up happening, though. Golden State receiving a couple of different steam moves throughout the day, some reverse line shifts. The last steam move came in about 2 o'clock here. That came in on Houston, guys, getting the 5.5. So they're pushing some steam right now. Houston's getting a lot of love from the sharps as well, but it is early. Just letting you guys know what's happening there, and which is why it is so important, guys, to keep tabs. The market will tell you a lot. The market will tell you what you need to know. There's always a reason and a method behind the madness. The syndicates, the guys with the money who actually push lines, there's a good chance, you and I, the Joe Public, not necessarily pushing lines, guys, unless it's overwhelming that way. But for the most part, the reason lines get pushed, it's the more well-respected bettors, the guys with the deep pockets, the guys that the bookmakers look at and go, they know what the hell they're talking about. That's why lines get moved. So when you can see this kind of movement and you see the discrepancy between the amount of tickets versus the amount of money, that's a pretty good indicator there of where the sharp money is coming in on, and that's what we can see here tonight. Sharp money coming in, certainly on the money line for Milwaukee right now, and clearly Boston is the public favorite. A lot of public money coming in on that, not necessarily all that much sharp love just yet, but I can tell you the discrepancy in the over. 30% of the bets, tickets being written, representing over now 53% of the money, tells me that there's a lot of steam. There's a lot of sharp money coming in for the over tonight in this game at 219 and a half, depending on the book. Keep an eye on that. Looks like the over in Boston, Milwaukee, getting a lot of love here tonight. So those are some of the numbers regarding the NBA and what you're going to be looking at. But want to switch our gears here to our friends at TrendyBets.com, who have done nothing but kill it all NBA season long. What can I say, guys? Even the last couple of weeks, they're 12-4 in their selections. They've lost one out of the last what are they? 9-1 the last couple of weeks here on their NBA plays, their free plays that they've given here. They have been nothing but money all season long. If you guys haven't done so already, check out TrendyBets.com. I've been telling you about that. One of the best websites, great information. These are guys also that you want to be following, right? You want to surround yourself with some quality people. Well, there it is, TrendyBets.com. Check them out, guys. I'm telling you, the proof is in the numbers. Those of you that have been tailing them, that have followed them, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. These guys are grinders. These guys are pros. These guys deliver. Their systems are killing it all year long, not only in the NBA, but they're doing a great job in Major League Baseball, making you guys an awful lot of money as well there. So let's take a look, speaking of Major League Baseball, what they got tonight here at Trendy Bets. Game number one, they're looking at Pirates at the Rangers here tonight. Texas minus 120. The total opened up, I think, at 10. It's been pushed to 10.5. I think it's up at 11 now. There are some thunderstorms expected in Texas here tonight, but what else is new this time of year? Here's what we know from Trendy Bets, right? The over 5-1 in the Pirates' last 6 during game one of a series. The over is also 5-0-1 in the Rangers' last 6 overall. The over 5-2 in the Rangers' last 7 during game 1 of a series, and the over 9-1 in Texas's last 10 home games following a road trip of 7 or more days. And I can tell you this, they just ended that road trip dominating the last couple of games against the Mariners. In fact, I think they outscored the Mariners 29-2 over the last 2 games of that series that they just had there. 29-2, guys. 37 hits in the process. The Rangers are no joke. This is a team that can dominate without a doubt. And Pittsburgh, they've lost 8 straight games, guys. Their lineup is they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. They've produced 2 runs or less in 6 of those 8 defeats. Jordan Lyles, by the way, taking the mound here today for our friends in Pittsburgh. He got lit up by the Diamondbacks his last game. I think he's got over an 8 ERA in 9 previous outings against the Rangers. So the over is where Trendy Bets is looking at here tonight, and I don't blame them because, hell, the Texas Rangers could hit the over alone there at 10.5, but that's what they're looking. They love the Texas Rangers, and the Pittsburgh Pirates here over tonight could very well be the play. That's what our friends at Trendy Bets like, and not just Major League Baseball I told you about. Of course, the NBA. They've got a play here tonight in the NBA that they really, really like. So what is it? Well, let's see if we can get that up here, and I can tell you exactly which one it is. There it is. Celtics at the Bucks here tonight for our friends at Trendy Bets. Milwaukee laying 7.5. Just told you the numbers there. Over 219.5 is the total. The under 8-1 in the Celtics' last 9 versus a team with a winning percentage above 600. The under 4-1 in the Celtics' last 5 following a straight-up win. The under is 7-3 in the Bucks' last 10 versus a team with a winning percentage above 600. And the unders are 4-1 in the Bucks' last 5 games following a straight-up loss. Your TrendyBets.com free NBA playoff pick here. They're going under, guys. 219.5 tonight is what they are looking at. They feel pretty strongly that we're going to get another big defensive effort there, and even if Giannis gets himself 30, 35 points, gets a better production, still going to need some other guys to be able to deliver. But the Celtics, this is what they are made for. They bring the defense. Whether any of it'll matter, don't forget the trends that we told you here from our good friend Ralph Michaels on playoff teams losing game 1 that are favorited by 7.5 or more points. We told you what those numbers are, staggering. Well, Milwaukee may cover, but doesn't necessarily mean this is going to go over in any way, shape, or form. In fact, Trendy Bets feels the under is the right play here tonight. 219.5. And once again, encourage you guys, make sure you head over to TrendyBets.com for just some great information. And get on, guys. I mean, get on the Major League Baseball packages. They've got 5 systems, I believe. All of them are in well into double-digit units already that they have produced. A few of them close to $2,000 already in profit on a couple of these systems here. They dominate. They've got it going on, guys. The analytics, the numbers, the systems they've got in play here, the grind, it's paying off for its clients. My suggestion, go check them out. I mean, they're giving you the free plays. The proof is in the numbers. They've delivered over and over and over again here. My suggestion, give them a shot. At Trendy Bets on Twitter, also TrendyBets.com. That's what you can get them on their website. Really cool stuff there. Now, I did tell you in Major League Baseball here tonight, there are a couple of sharp plays. Let me tell you right now what we're seeing when it comes to the schedule tonight in Major League Baseball, and welcome in those of you who are just joining us. Thank you very much, guys, for making us a part of your day here on the Joe Raineri Show. I can tell you all week long we're loaded once again. Our good friend Charles Michel there, part of the Offshore Gaming Association. Charles will be joining us again this week, getting your soccer fix in. He has dominated across the board over the last month for you guys, delivering winner after winner, Champions League, English Premier. As a matter of fact, I think Ajax is playing here today, Tottenham. So there's always soccer going on, and nobody better than our good friend Charles when it comes to European football. Charles Michel is definitely the guy that you are going to want to associate yourself with. He'll be joining us Yesterday, if you missed it, we had our friend Marco D'Angelo Wager Talk. Kentucky Derby, the post positions came up here today. We're going to have Marco on again this week. Now that we know where all 700 of these horses are going to be in the gate, we can actually narrow it down for you a little bit, kind of point you in the right direction come Derby Day on Saturday. Marco will be joining us a little bit later in the week, as will our good friend Dr. Chuck from SportsMemo.com. And I want to tell you guys, he's another one that I wanted to introduce you to. Guys, if you have not done so already, make sure you're following Dr. Chuck at Dr. Chuck RX. He has been killing it, guys, at SportsMemo.com. Love this guy, analytics monster when it comes to baseball. I mean, he's got numbers and stats you guys can't even dream of, and it shows, guys. He has been delivering all season long for his clients. I think he was 3 for 4 again last night in Major League Baseball. He's also been killing the NBA playoffs. Make sure you guys check him out at Dr. Chuck RX right there, Dr. Chuck RX on Twitter. Make sure that you guys are tailing him, SportsMemo.com. Another one of these guys you are definitely going to want to have in your news feed. You're going to want to know what he's saying, what he's talking about. The guy's an analytical machine, great capper. You're going to see him again here on the Joe Raineri Show this week. Love what he's got bringing to the table. Stats, figures, trends, angles, the kind of information that helps us all be a little bit more profitable. Definitely a dude you guys want to tail at Dr. Chuck RX at sportsmemo.com. All right, let's check out what the Sharp report is telling us here right now. And here's what we've seen. Cincinnati and the New York Mets tonight. All right, so this is a 7:10 first pitch. You got Cincinnati going with Luis Castillo, who everyone has fell in love with, right? He was undervalued. Nobody played him early on in the season. And then the last couple of weeks, everybody and their mother figured out this guy can actually pitch. He's got a 1.23 ERA. Everybody loaded up on him first fives. Then he became just unpriced out, unvaluable because everyone overvalued him. So he lost, his last couple of first 5 starts here. He's going up against Jason Vargas, who everybody seems to love to hate. That 5th starter nobody wants to be for the New York Mets. He's got a 7.2 ERA. And you got to figure, right, guys are going, it's the Reds all day. Castillo, it's a no-brainer. I mean, look at the numbers, right? Castillo's, it's, the first 5 has got to be in play here. Well, I can tell you this, not according to the Sharps. This game opened up with Cincy being a road favorite. Now, they won yesterday against the Mets, and I'm sure the Mets are kicking themselves in the ass for that, for losing to the Reds. But Cincy was actually opened up because of Castillo, opened up as a favorite, a short favorite, minus 120 on the road. They were getting 70% of the bets here, guys, earlier today. 70% of the bets on the Reds on the road as a favorite. However, the line has actually moved towards the Mets now, and the Mets are looking at better than even money. I believe 103 minus 104. And you've got to figure, well, why is that the case? Why are the Mets, why are their numbers getting better when 70% of the money is coming in on the Reds? And, why are the Reds becoming less of a favorite? Well, that tells you, guys, that kind of line movement tells you that's sharp money, all right? That's what the pros are looking at. So you're looking at a reverse line shift there with the Mets going from plus 111, plus 110 to now minus 103. Yeah, Mets getting about 30% of the dollars right now, but representing about 48% of the money. That's smart money. That's where the pros come in. That's where the Sharps are. So while the public loves the Reds here because of Luis Castillo, the Sharps are going, give us Vargas, give us the Mets at home. That's where they're playing it. Same thing going on right now, I believe, with the Dodgers in San Francisco. The Giants came up big last night, right? They were a big favorite, plus 150 against the Dodgers. Nobody saw that coming, but they beat the Dodgers 3-2. I think it closed at plus 134. San Francisco was only getting 33% of the bets last night, which tells you everything you need to know about the confidence of people with the Giants, who I still don't think have scored a run in the first inning. Pretty profitable there, but it doesn't look as if the Giants opened up at another plus 150, 151. They're down to plus 130 right now. The Giants are. So why why are they getting to be better priced as far as worse price? Why aren't they going to plus 180 if they're going to Dodgers? And the reason is, well, L.A. minus 170 as a road favorite. That's what they opened up at, getting just about 80% of the bets earlier today. Huge amount of public support for the Dodgers. But then we're watching this line get a little bit worse, and we're watching the Giants get 23% of the bets, but 46% of the dollars, then 33% of the bets. Now they're getting 50% of the dollars. So you're starting to see an awful lot of sharp money come in on the Giants here tonight. They're not fooled. They don't. They think it's a better situation right now, crushing San Francisco at a couple of different points. The steam has come in at a couple of different points for San Francisco. So, the sharps keep hitting the Giants, even though the payout keeps getting worse. That means you're looking at the sharps having a lot of confidence in the Giants taking care of business here tonight, which is why you continue to see the money come flowing in. I still don't see. Let me double check, but I still don't see any sort of buyback here. Let me double check. I don't see any buyback for the Dodgers, guys. It is what it is. A little bit of steam came back in about an hour ago. Dodgers at minus 135, but for the most part, it has been all San Francisco all day long. Nothing but reverse line movement and steam moves coming in for San Francisco here. So keep an eye out. Not that hard. One of the greatest systems you can ever follow is simply follow the sharp money. Where they go, you go, guys. Ultimately, they know what they're doing. We have no idea what we're doing, and the market can tell you everything that you need to know about what direction you should go in. I'm being told right now, I see it popping up, Josh Donaldson is out for Atlanta here tonight. Looks to be a little bit injured. That's a big game. That happens to be a game that I'm on. San Diego taking on Atlanta, and I'm all over San Diego on the road in Atlanta. I'm good with Paddock. I love the kid. I think he's awesome. If you guys haven't seen him pitch, I think he's way better than Julio Teheran tonight, who seems to always get lit up. He's got a good start, a bad start, a good start, a bad start. He had a good start last time, which means it'll probably be crap here tonight. But I think Paddock is awesome. No Donaldson now in the Atlanta lineup. I like it even better. So I like him too as I think they're minus 105 right now is what I'm looking at for the, let me double check here, San Diego, if you guys want to tail that. Yeah, minus 105 on the money line right now. I do like San Diego getting 55% of the bets and getting 66% of the money. So I don't think I'm alone there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff there. Also, the run line also seems to be getting some play. 35% of the bets on the 1.5 run line for San Diego, laying it at plus 151 there, representing about 48% of the money. So some opportunities in that game to profit, I think. You may want to take a look at it. I happen to like it. I also am on the under in that game. So I've got San Diego. I've got the under. Whether or not that actually cashes, who the hell knows? It's been one of those last couple of weeks here in Major League Baseball, but I think we're on the right side there. Again, when in doubt, just follow the money here, guys. It's not that hard to do. All right. Cleveland is in Miami here tonight. Ed Bauer is going. I can see a large portion of money being shifted over towards that. What does that mean? Ultimately, it means the Marlins probably already lost. That's basically what that means. But in the NHL, let me take a look quick here, see if there's anything crazy going on. Boston Columbus, first game here, 7:00 here tonight. I can tell you it looks like Boston receiving some of the sharp money right now. 49% of the bets coming in on the money line for Boston. That represents about 65% of the dollars right now. So the public likes Columbus, the sharps like Boston, and it seems to be that way for Colorado, too. Colorado seems to be getting a little more of the sharp money here, while San Jose seems to be getting a little bit more of the public support. Those games getting ready to go. Just a packed night here, guys, as you can tell. A lot going on here. Major League Baseball, the NBA playoffs, and, of course, the NHL. It is loaded, but it's all about making smart sports investing decisions. And how do you do that? Well, guys, like I told you, it's all about not being the smartest dude in the room, all right? Make sure you're following Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports LV. Let me get that page up there for you one more time. There it is, all right, at Cal Sports LV. Make sure you're following him on Twitter, guys. Great stuff here. I'm telling you, great, consistent stuff time and time again. Content that you need to know, trends and angles you guys should know, as well as our friends from Trendy Bets. Okay, guys, they've done nothing but deliver for you guys. All their free plays have absolutely gotten you to the ticket window, cashing left and right. And also introducing you guys to our good friend Dr. Chuck, one of the best Major League Baseball cappers you will see, sportsmemo.com. I would definitely invite you. All this guy does is cash on a consistent basis as well. Again, you can't fake the numbers here, guys. More importantly, these aren't guys that just tell you a team to play. They tell you why the edge is there, right? And that should be your first question. Anytime somebody tells you to play a team, ask them why. What's the edge? And if they don't have one, if they don't have an answer for you, it's because they don't have one. So, and that's what you got to keep in mind here. But these guys here, Dr. Chuck, Sports Memo, the whole crew at Sports Memo, including Teddy Covers and everybody else there, Alex Smith and our good friend Mr. McGinnis there, who deliver for hockey for us, including the guys over at Wager Talk. Definitely guys that you want to be tailing, following. Just follow the money, follow the smarts, guys. Follow the brains, follow the experience. It'll lead you to being a profitable sports investor here in 2019. So want to thank our friends from Trendy Bets. Want to thank, of course, the Knowledge, Dr. Chuck, as well as Ralph Michaels, inviting you guys once again, the Fantasy Sports Radio Network, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. We make it rain, start it all over again. Keep an eye on the numbers here, guys, as we're approaching 5 o'clock here tonight. I expect some of these lines to shift a little bit more as we get closer, certainly in Major League Baseball, to start time. But the Sharps have spoken. They are going in two distinct ways. They're going Mets and they're going Giants, guys. That's the way they're going. They're sorry, Cincinnati. I know you opened up as a road favorite, but the Sharps are playing the Mets. The Sharps are playing the Giants. Keep an eye on that. Also, we gave you the numbers, and if you're just joining us, I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen one more time here. All right, this was some great stuff here from Ralph earlier today regarding the Milwaukee Bucks. Teams that lost game one of a series as a favorite of 7.5 or more, just like Milwaukee did. Yep, those teams since 2003, guys, 23-1 straight up, 15-8-1 against the number, 65%. And to boil it down even further, all right, the Milwaukee Bucks alone this year, 15-1 straight up after against the straight up loss. They're 15-1 straight up, 14-2 against the number, off a straight up loss. They also seem to favor the under in their games, 14-12 over under in those games. So information for you guys to keep in your back pocket here before you make a decision. The more informed you are, the better it is. And also, for those of you making a big deal of Scott Foster being the ref tonight in this game, well, the Rockets 3-7 against the number in the postseason with him as one of the officials. Also 0 for their last 5. But also, side note, we told you Scott Foster, one of the most profitable referees here when it comes to the over in playoff and regular season games. So the over tonight seems to be stuck right around that number at 220, 221. And it does look like there is a lot of money. A lot of people seem to think that we're going to get maybe a bit of more of a scoring fest tonight, but that would require the Houston Rockets to stop bitching and moaning and, actually score a few more buckets. But we'll see. The information is there. The information is here with us. The information is on the Fantasy Sports Radio Network, guys. Hope you'll download the app. Join us again tomorrow. Again, Dr. Chuck will be here this week. Marco D'Angelo. We're going to be covering the Kentucky Derby. We've got Ralph Michaels will be here. We'll have everything that you need to know in order to be able to be profitable this week, throughout the week, all sports, all lanes. That's what we do here on the Joe Raineri Show, is help you you get introduced to some of the very best guys that you might not otherwise know, but you have a chance to meet them here. So the only thing that we ask is that go ahead and like these videos, guys. Hit the check mark, subscribe, give me the finger. It doesn't really make a damn bit of difference here. Tell your friends. It's all about knowledge, right? Knowledge is power, guys. That's what we're talking about. The more knowledge that we can provide for you, the better handicappers we all are. Because don't forget, after all, it is not just it's not you versus me or this capper versus that capper, guys. It's all of us against the sports books. That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to take their money because they have enough of it. So let's beat the books. And let's come together doing that. And also want to remind you, our good friend, the Sports Keg CEO, another special edition of the Kegcast on YouTube tonight. Just search the Sports Keg and live in-game wagering taking place 7 o'clock here tonight, all night long. What a group they are. Well over 100 units over the last couple of months. Those guys have been killing it. Make sure you check them out on YouTube. Also on Twitter, at the Sports Keg CEO. Just search on YouTube, The Sports Keg. Subscribe to that page, guys. Join the conversation tonight. It's free. Join those lunatics, those cappers from around the country, all looking to do one thing, be a little bit more profitable today than they were yesterday, and that is what it is all about. So appreciate it. Want to thank uwager.eu. Want to thank our friends at Miami Acura, and, of course, I want to thank you guys very much for making us a part of your day. Come back and join us tomorrow. We'll do it all over again, 4 o'clock here. And make sure you like the page, guys. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you come back and join us here tomorrow. Good luck with all your plays here tonight, guys. Let's make it a profitable Tuesday. It's the Joe Raineri Show.